This year's coaching carousel has been a crazy one, and it may just be getting started. There are 2 blue blood coaching jobs still open, jobs no one expected to be open in Oklahoma and Notre Dame. Today, I want to talk about the idea of Brent Venables, the current Clemson defensive coordinator, and why or why not he would be the best coach for Oklahoma to go with for their head coaching vacancy. Before we go over why Venables may or may not be the perfect candidate for Oklahoma, let's go over some background information for Brent Venables to truly understand this idea. Brent Venables was born on December 18, 1970, and grew up in Salina, Kansas. Venables played at Garden City Community College before transferring to Kansas State, and then went on to be a grad assistant for the Wildcats, serving in that role from 1993 to 1995, before taking over as the linebackers coach and working as the defensive run game coordinator. While he was on the staff at Kansas State, so was Bob Stoops. Stoops had served as the defensive backs coach and co-defensive coordinator while Venables played and then worked at Kansas State. Stoops would leave to be the defensive coordinator at Florida before taking the Oklahoma head coaching job, and when Stoops took over at Oklahoma, he decided to bring Venables in as the co-defensive coordinator and linebacker coach, being a part of the coaching staff that won the 2000 National Championship. In 2004, Venables served as an assistant head coach, defensive coordinator, and linebacker coach, and in 2006, he was named a Broyles Award finalist, which is given to the nation's top assistant every year. Venables would serve in the role previously mentioned until January of 2012, when it was announced Mike Stoops would be returning to Oklahoma to serve as the defensive coordinator. As a result, Venables accepted the defensive coordinator position at Clemson. In 2013, his unit led the nation in tackles, while in 2014 the defense led the nation in total defense, 260.8 yards, pass efficiency defense, 98.3, first downs allowed, 185, third down conversion percentage defense, 27.4%, and tackles for a loss with 131. In 2015, Venables was once again named a finalist for the Broyles Award and was also named by rivals as the Recruiter of the Year. In 2016, Venables finally won his first Broyles Award, with the 2016 group amassing 130 tackles for a loss and a then school record 49 sacks. His team led the NCAA in tackles for a loss 4 seasons in a row from 2013 to 2016. His 2018 defense produced 5 first or second team All-Americans, including 2 consensus selections. The unit also set a record with 54 sacks in 2018, the third most by any FBS team in a season since 2000. He helped Clemson hold opponents to 20 or fewer points in 16 consecutive games across the 2018-2019 seasons. A streak of that length had not occurred in Clemson in 79 years, when Hall of Fame coaches Jess Neely and Frank Howard combined for a 31-game streak across the 1937 to 1940 seasons. Venables has coached in 8 national championship games, helped Clemson to 4 berths and 2 titles, and also has a 13-2 mark in 15 conference championship games in which he coached in, including a 6-0 record in the ACC championship game with Clemson. In his 25 years as a full-time assistant coach, his teams have had 25 winning seasons and have won 10-plus games, 21 times. He has reportedly been a head coach candidate for Miami, Kansas, Kansas State, and Texas Tech in the past, and in 2017 he became the second highest paid assistant behind Dave Aranda, who was at LSU at the time and is currently the highest paid college football assistant. Hey you, yeah, you! Who do you think Oklahoma should hire to be their next head coach? Let me know in the comments section below. Also, if you are enjoying this video, make sure to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it, and it helps the video do better in the algorithm. So, if Venables has turned down other head coaching jobs in the past and has a good thing going at Clemson, why would he leave for the Oklahoma job? Well, to start off, he spent 13 years working at Oklahoma before taking the same position at Clemson. According to the Clemson Insider, he's one of the candidates Oklahoma is interested in for the vacancy. The Clemson Insider writes, "We believe there have been some conversations between the 2 camps about the opening, but we do not believe there have been any formal conversations as of late Monday." Oklahoma sports columnist Barry Trammell told the State administrators always thought very highly of him. He was considered one of the members of the Stoops family and very well thought of. That never changed. No problem ever that I knew about, no one ever complained about him, just sort of the highest respect that somebody could have. When asked why Venables hasn't accepted previous jobs before, he told the State, "I don't know what kept him from taking a good one. I gotta believe he's been offered all kinds of good ones before. I assume Kansas State offered him both times Bill Snyder retired, but I don't know that. I don't know why he hasn't taken one, and I don't know why this would be any different. It's probably the best job he's ever been offered. It's one of the top 5 or 6 jobs in college football, so I assume Alabama and USC and Notre Dame haven't offered him. I'm not really speaking from Brent's perspective. I'm just speaking from my views. I think he's been very high on Oklahoma's list for all the reasons we've talked about. And just to be honest with you, no one really realized this until the last 36 hours, but the Bob Stoops legacy has had a major revival. Just within the last 24 hours really, because Stoops came in as the interim head coach, and his press conference yesterday displayed a brash of confidence and stability. Just made everybody feel better. If they were to hire someone with the Stoops connection, people would think that would be pretty cool. Stoops and the Stoops family and Brent go way back so far. I mean, it's now 30 years they go back together, and even though they had that sort of difficult time when Bob Stoops brings Mike Stoops back and Brent left, I don't know if there were any hard feelings or if it was just awkwardness. I don't know how to describe what was going on, but I know whatever it was, they're well past it. Venables is a defensive-minded coach, which could work really well in the SEC when the Sooners eventually make the jump. Unless he feels like the Clemson job may come open in the next few years, he will probably not be offered a better job than Oklahoma. If you could even consider Clemson to be a better job just because Venables has already been there. For the Oklahoma side of everything, offensive gurus may win you games, but defense wins you championships. Former Oklahoma players also like the idea of Venables taking the job. So why wouldn't Venables want to take the Oklahoma job? Trammell told the State Venables was beloved for many years, and then he sort of was made a scapegoat among the fans. When things started sliding a little bit in 2009, 2010, 2011, fans quickly forgot how good his 2009 defense was. It was a great defense. Golly, in the 23 years of the house of Bob Stoops, it's the second best OU defense, I'd say, behind the 2001 defense and the 2000 defense. The year they won the national title, it was really good too. But anyway, people quickly forgot, and Bob was trying to rekindle the magic, so he brings Mike Stoops back and had some sort of consortium with Brent. And that was pretty clear that wasn't going to work very well. Within a few days or weeks, I can't remember the timeline, Dabo Swinney called him, and away he went. People over the years sort of realized what they had in Brent, like the 2009 defense, and what he did at Clemson, so he sort of returned to being a folk hero. Along with that, things have been hectic in Norman the past few days. They lost to Oklahoma State, then Riley leaves out of nowhere, and now you are seeing players either decommit or enter the transfer portal. Whoever takes the Oklahoma job will not just have to put in a Herculean effort leading up to the early signing period, which is 2 weeks from today, but they will also need to recruit their current roster. That being said, Oklahoma is still a blue blood and one of the most storied programs in college football. One other thought is maybe Venables doesn't even want to be a head coach. But if he does, some may be concerned about Venables because he has no head coaching experience, but Trammell would disagree with that, saying, "That matters zero, Oklahoma. One coach since 1935 had ever been a head coach before. In fact, some people would say you'd be nuts to chase the hottest names. Cincinnati's Luke Fickell, or Baylor's Dave Aranda, or Iowa State's Matt Campbell, Kentucky's Mark Stoops. Most of the time, the best hires have come from within, just promote. Barry Switzer was promoted, Lincoln Riley was promoted, Chuck Fairbanks was promoted, Bud Wilkinson was promoted, so that doesn't really matter. Some of the fans don't really know that, but they get it almost immediately. I think Oklahoma won't limit themselves to assistant coaches, but they will not at all be swayed by trying to win the press conference or win the social media reaction. They don't believe they need to go for a hire like former Notre Dame head coach and new LSU head coach Brian Kelly to keep being good at football. Personally, I think Venables would be a great hire for the Sooners. He knows Norman, he has recruited there before, and he has multiple national championship rings between Oklahoma and Clemson. He has worked under Bob Stoops and Dabo Swinney and knows how to build a winner. But what do you think? Should Oklahoma hire Brent Venables, or should they go in a different direction? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out my other videos right here. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.